Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and Keith and I are doing the final Ivion as of right now, because there's more on the way, but for the Knight and the Lady, or the final discussion for the Knight and the Lady. Keith, what do you think of this?
This is the worst one. I think as far as, this one and the other one, they were both pretty unmatched.
Which one? This one?
Forest.
The Fox and the Forest? Yeah, well, I mean, if we're comparing health disparity, it's 17-0.
Yeah.
Which is better than the Fox and the Forest, where it was like 38-0.
But all of the damage I did to you was passive.
All the damage was from your judgment, which I actively made decisions to leave.
Yeah.
So this one is actually very interesting, because the enchantress, and here's what's fascinating, is because I was on the good side. So the enchantress is actually my playstyle.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like turtle up or be evasive.
Yeah. And
kind of win out in terms of attrition, where it's like, okay, I'm just gonna do minimal damage to you, but basically allow you to not do anything.
Yeah. And
she does such a good job of controlling the board state. But in terms of a matchup where it's like, okay, I can control the board state. I have cards that let me teleport.
Yeah.
Well, not teleport, but like...
The only move card I had let me move 2.
Right.
And that's like it.
Yeah. It's fascinating because it's like, I had like the jaunt, which was a counter to be like, I'm going to hit you. Oh, I'm actually going to teleport to the opposite side of my train. Now, to be fair, if those cards were destroyed, then the jaunt doesn't do anything, and that was my main source of getting away from you. Here's why I think it felt so one-sided. Besides the fact that the teleporting, and I just kept running away.
Yeah.
One of the first cards you played prevented all damage, but made you discard.
Yeah.
That amount of damage. As soon as I read that, I was like, okay, I want to see if it's possible to mill someone, to win that way.
Yeah.
So that was my entire goal. Like, whenever I got into my second wind, I had cards that dealt 7 damage, 10 damage. Like, I had cards that had ways to do a decent amount of damage, but I didn't choose those. Like, the cards I chose
were discards.
Were Singe, which gave you all 3 of the controls.
Yeah.
And then Sleep, which slowed you. So I wanted to try and draw out this fight to see if it was possible to win through decking someone.
Yeah.
And even to the best of my ability, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I won because of... I don't know how I dealt damage to you. I chipped you pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, my wild magic did some damage to you.
These being central and me not having a lot of cards that can get rid of them.
Yeah.
That did damage.
Yeah.
And then just not being able to get close to you. Because you can hit me from 2 or 3 spaces away.
Yeah.
But I can't hit you unless I'm at you.
Exactly.
But you can move 3 or 4 spaces in a turn, and I'm moving 1.
Right. Unless you burn.
Unless I want to use my... If I want to play a card, there's like just not much movement.
Yeah. Which, I mean... I imagine most of your card action costs are 1.
There's a lot of 2s.
Okay.
There's some that are like 2 and 2.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. I'm using it. I think most of them are actually 2s.
Because a lot of her cards, like that I was playing, are also super cheap.
Yeah.
They're like Be Gone is a great one, where it's, especially for this case, where it's like it costs me 1 action and I gain a mana. And I hit you for 4 damage, and then I move you away.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's exactly what I don't want you. If you're near me,
if
you have a way to stay near me, I die.
But I don't.
Yeah,
that's the thing. In this instance, he didn't.
Yeah. So, and then there was like cards that she could use that I like, where it's like, what was it? The one where it's like, oh, where are you? Promise of Power. It's like, okay, you actually get to choose. Do you want me to draw 2 and gain mana, or do you want to discard 2 and then
it's like at that point, I'm already so low on cards.
It's like, and because of your abilities, it's like, oh, I don't have any cards, have to draw.
Yeah.
So all of your passives sound super good, because in a game like this, if you're drawing...
You get cards.
Yeah. but at the risk of being exhausted. And
Exactly.
I was like, man, can I try and win that way? And even when you finally died, you finally had no cards to draw.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, man, I really don't think it's possible to win that way. Like,
you got me to discard 12 cards in a turn.
Exactly, and that was like the best I could possibly do. And even then, I'm thinking, man, it's probably better to take the damage. Yeah. Because you have a way to become chivalrous.
Yeah.
So
which is 2 HP.
Even
then, there's only. I think I only drew 2 cards that gave me chivalry.
Oh, well, I know, but you willingly chose to get rid of it to counter a card. But what I'm saying is, like, let's say you never played the card that made you lose 12 cards. Yeah. You take 12 damage. Well, her whole point is to stay away from you. Yeah. So if I'm running around for 6 rounds, you've already regained all that health back by staying chivalrous and preventing me from, like, if you do happen to get up close, I still have to run away, and I'm choosing to take damage.
But you still have the range to disparage that.
Only 2 range, though.
I mean,
that's the thing. It's like 2 range and it's all of her cards. All of her range cards are 2 range away. So it's like, if I don't have the ability to run off, it's like, well, then you're just 1 step away. Yeah. I'm not justifying the I still think this is a unbalanced. I like this one better than the Hound and the Hare. Yeah. Because at least, like, one of your cards was like, if you land on this, you get a relic, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, and I never got a relic.
I know.
I only had one other card that gave me one.
Really?
Yeah. Relics were not very.
Yeah, you did draw through your whole deck. Yeah. That's interesting because the Paladin or the Hound, whatever, he had a shit ton of ways to get relics.
Yeah, he did.
In fact, I think one of his passives...
I finished at like 3 or 4.
Yeah, his second wind, I think, gave him a relic. So it almost feels like that they were trying to figure out a way to balance, because this almost seems like they tried to course correct the Hound and the Hare. Which I think, I don't know. I think you definitely like the Hound and the Hare. This kind of, with both of those box sets, it feels like one side is super, because it's like, I like this one more than Hound and the Hare, but I was on the side of the person that controlled the board.
Exactly.
The Hound on the and then that box set was good with gaining relics, which help him control the board. So it's like, man, just get rid of characters with relics. You have 3 cards.
3 cards.
They give you relics. So, which, I mean, 3...
And they're all pretty expensive. Well, this one cost 2, give you 2, but that's the one you destroyed.
Yeah. Which, again, I had that... That's not really a fault of that character. Yeah. That is the only card in my deck that lets me destroy a card. So it was right place, right time for me.
And I try, and like, that was even for me being like, oh, I'm going to put this as far away from them as possible. Because you were there, and I put it here.
Yeah, which I specifically ran all the way over there to destroy it, so that's the only thing I did.
This one would have just given me one, but I think it's one that got discarded. And then this one I had in my hand on the last turn, but I didn't have 3 resource. I didn't have.
Yeah, because man, she had a card that was like, oh, if like I deal damage to you, and now I can play a card using any combination of our resources. Yeah, which is disgusting. It's like, not only am I spending your shit, like let's say, and mine potentially to do a really powerful card. It's just like, now you're left with nothing. Yeah. She had a bunch of counters in here. Like, she doesn't do amazing damage, but boy, is she gonna make sure you're not playing.
She can whittle and move.
Yeah, like this is like the equivalent of a blue Magic deck. It's like, you don't get to play.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how it felt.
And I think that's what it feels worse. Like, even if like, it's like, let's say at the final fight or at the end of the game, it's like I had 30 health. Yeah. And it's like, well, you gained a lot of it, but I was still able to play. Yeah. It's like, you might have won like handedly, but it's like I was still able to play. This time it's just like, oh, hit you for 4, now you're stunned and slow, and I'm gonna run off.
I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah. Like, literally a lot of my move, like I went here, like I was just all over the board. Which is great for me because it's like I like having to move. And
it just doesn't pair with this character well.
Yeah,
this character doesn't have the movement.
I agree. And I think it's fascinating because in the Hound and the Hare one, the health difference I think was a pretty big gap. Yeah. And this one doesn't have that. Mm-hmm. So it's like okay, well, if I have the maneuver ability to get away from you, well, to counteract, I should have less health.
Yeah.
Which I do by 1.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, but then it's shitty because we know what that's like with the Hound and the Hare, where it's like you have 6 more health than me, and you're always chivalrous, so you're always gaining health. Mm-hmm. It's like, man.
And this one doesn't start chivalrous. You have to get it.
I think there's something wonky with both those characters. Mm-hmm. Like both the knight classes are the errant and the whatever the other actual name
I think it's
was.
the errant and the.
I thought it was like a paladin, but no, they always do weird synonyms.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, the knight, he doesn't start chivalrous and he has card draw. That's good, but at the cost of losing valuable cards.
Exactly.
Versus the other guy that's like, well, there's no damage you can do to me because I'm going to gain it all back and I have ways to get to you. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I almost feel like the Hound would have been better to fight the lady.
Yeah.
And the enchantress would have been better against the knight.
I agree.
Like, that feels like it should have been a better pairing.
Yeah.
Because the enchantress doesn't have a lot of ways to move, from what I remember. So it's like, okay, if I'm still controlling the board state with illusions and stuff, you still have chances to get close to me. Mm-hmm. And if you start chivalrous as the Hound, well, then I'm going to basically just control you the whole game and chip away.
Yeah.
That's probably how they should have boxed it, which...
I think they're 2 different seasons, though, aren't they?
I think this is season 1.
Okay.
I think...
Well, I thought the other one was season 2.
The Hound and the Hare is season 1. The Sun and Stars is season 1. And I think it's this one. Hold on. Ivion season 1. Let's see if I can... if I can find a picture of those boxes. Damn it, that doesn't really tell me. Like, I'd like to just see season 1. Yeah. At least according to this Google picture on eBay, someone's saying Ivion season 1 is the Sun and Stars, Knight and the Lady, and Hound and the Hare.
Okay.
Which, out of all 3 of the season 1, the Sun and Stars is probably the more balanced.
I agree.
Which is good, because that's the more straightforward one.
Yeah.
But what's also kind of cool, it's kind of shitty because of the way that they package it, which with the new Kickstarter you can now box and condense it all into one. Mm-hmm. It's both these characters are still really good.
Yeah.
Just it sucks that you have to buy the box and play against them individually. And it's like, man, I can't hit you.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, how nice.
I love chasing you.
Yeah, you ran away. Which is, it's like that's a shitty way to play, but it is a way to play if that's her build.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, well...
But it's like, if they're going to make that her build, then they need to have a way to compensate.
Right. Like,
and
it's hard, you know?
Cause the only way that you can compensate is by using all your AP to catch up.
Yeah.
Or the singular card in here that lets you move to.
Right, because it's like, if she has so many ways to get out of dodge, but then the fix to that isn't make it to where you can get to me every time, because then it's like, well, then I'm
I mean, but it wouldn't even have to be every time.
Yeah.
Just like 2 or 3 times.
You know, yeah, I agree. But I don't know how you fix that.
Yeah.
I mean, put cards in that, like a few cards in that deck that let you... I mean, you had cards that forced me to travel.
Yeah, but I'd had to be within striking distance of you. And striking distance is 1.
No, well, that one, you had one that was like travel. The first card you played was travel.
But that was just me moving, you move.
No, exactly, which is great because it's like, okay, you're going to run away. Well, then I'm going to travel to you and then travel you to me.
Yeah.
And now we've met up. So now I'm going to beat the shit out of you. I don't know. You can clearly see.
There it is. These are the 3 like movement cards.
The travel cards?
Yeah, so there's 2 to battles, which let me move 2.
Okay.
And then there's the throw the gauntlet, which makes us move towards each other.
But here's the problem. It's like those are... Okay, so that's kind of what we were saying. That's the fix. Have a few cards that let you move a lot. The problem, again, is you have cards in there that force you to discard. So if you play that to avoid, a 16 damage attack, well, it's like that's 16 cards that just get dropped. Yeah. And that sucks. Because it's not like you want to be exhausted.
Exactly.
It's very... you can't draw? 5 damage.
Yep.
Which, again...
Until you're dead.
When you became chivalrous, I was like, shit. Because I was trying to deck you. I thought you were going to stay chivalrous the whole game. And I was like, that means you're going to take 5 damage and then heal 2. So you're only getting 3 damage. It's like, man... And like, is it going to take
just
even longer?
Yeah.
It's going to take even longer to kill you that way. I don't know. I mean, I completely agree with you. I think both this one and the Hound and the Hare just need some tweaking, or
it's just the matchups.
It's the matchups. Yeah, the characters are still good. I really liked her.
They're good. Like the knight is my play style, where it's get up close and fight.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't pair well with this.
Yeah, because the other character, like the Ram in Season 2, was paired up against someone who was also up close.
Yeah.
But it mattered about we actually maneuvered around the board, and it's positioning, jockeying for movement to get away, to get the edge still mattered. Here it's like, I'm going to teleport, I'm actually over here, and you're
I'm in 45 pounds of armor.
You know what, can you cast sleep on me? I'm going to take a nap. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I agree. It's because her passives are still really cool. Like, it was interesting to actually put terrain down, enchanted terrain, which gives mana. But it's like, you know what? I'm gonna drop that and then blow it up.
Yeah.
And deal 4 damage to you.
Yep.
And every time I enter terrain, you get stunned.
Yep.
She's just a hard control character, which is my play style. But yeah, I wonder if it's more of like the pre-cons just. Which, again, sucks.
Yeah.
That's super shitty to be like, hey, spend $30, $40. I don't remember how much these are.
On a pre-con.
On pre-cons that don't work well. But if you have the 4 other box sets...
then you can have fun.
You can combine them. Yeah. It's just not...
Yeah.
Which was my original complaint. It was designed with the hero crafting system. So it's like... And people... You can make the argument with, like, Magic. Oh, this pre-con deck sucks. Oh, well, if you deck build... It's like, right, but the pre-con should still be fun.
But not everyone has time for that.
Yeah.
But still want to play the game.
Which I know that they have the deck custom. It's a lot more simplified. We're not actually building 40-card decks.
You're just combining.
You're kind of combining classes.
Yeah.
So our tournament, which we're finally able to do now that we've reviewed all the boxes, our tournaments are going to be based off pre-cons. Just hopefully randomized to where I will not make the tournament where an initial matchup is a box set.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to make sure that it's random.
Yeah.
And then if it happens to be, the knight won and the lady won, and now they have
and
it's like, well, we know how that's going.
Yeah.
Like, we've both had.
Well, we can just switch and see.
That's true, yeah.
You might play the knight very different than I did.
Yeah. Or I might do the exact same thing, and I know what card I'm not playing is the one that makes me discard cards.
Exactly. Hey, now you know.
Let's remove that one. Yeah. I still hate the fucking judgment. I hate chivalry.
I mean, it's the only way I was able to do damage.
No, I know. It's a good system as a player. It's just like, okay, so I'm moving away, and I countered.
You can't attack. You countered a lot.
I countered it to move.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's 8 damage. Oh, I was like, you're right. Well, I think I'd still rather run away.
Yeah.
Which actually, funny enough, I think your card only did 7 damage to me, so I took more damage to run from you than the card itself did. I don't know. It's I still really like the game.
The game is fine. I have no fight with the game.
Yeah. I definitely see where you're coming from, because I'd be pissed if I was on your side. I'd be furious.
I'd fucking burn it.
You're probably in the position I was when I was playing the Illusionist.
Yeah.
I was like, I fucking hate this. Ooh, man, you healed all that damage I just did. How's that relic? How's that god tier relic? It's pretty cool. That's why I went out of my way to make sure you didn't get any.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll do everything I can.
It worked. I didn't get any.
I know. It was nice. These
were cool.
This is interesting, though. I'm assuming they're the same. They're the same relics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they are.
The Oath Stone is fascinating because it's like, hey, if you're near it, you can't use your initiative. So it's kind of like I'm burning up a valuable... this would be really good against the mages, like who can use cantrips. It's like, hey, you actually can't cast cantrips when you're next to that. You're looking at all those busted-ass WinCon relics.
Yeah, dude. Blessed Grail. No max HP, heal 6, and remove all control.
No. And if you're chivalrous,
you're
just like, man, look at that.
Attach to yourself your attack cards.
You know what's funny?
All your attack cards gain heroic.
Oh, so they can't be countered?
Yep.
The one with no max HP, if you gave yourself chivalrous, you also start running away. Yeah. And it's like, you know what, I'm just going to eventually...
I'm just going to wait
you have to run to me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just have infinite health.
Yep. Let's see here. Yeah, attach to yourself, attack cards gain heroic. After you successfully attack a nearby enemy, deal damage to them equal to the card's resource cost.
Oh, yeah. That's how the illusionist was. Like, she would, like... Because the illusionist was kind of meant to, like, deck you as well.
If you would take damage, instead take 1 less damage. After an opponent successfully attacks you, deal 1 damage to them.
You just chip back.
Yep.
See, well, that's a good point, because the illusionist had abilities. I was like, oh, if I counter, or if I hit you for damage, you have to discard the top card.
Yeah.
That sounds like her passives were great against a person who was forced to draw and discard.
Yeah.
And this character was meant to be like, keep the
Yeah.
person away.
I think they should have
mixed them. Yeah,
they should have swapped them.
That feels like it would have been more balanced.
I agree.
And
maybe we'll find out.
Maybe we will. It's going to be the finale is going to be the knight versus the hound.
Yeah,
it's going to be the two. They're just both chivalrous, and they're like, you know what? We don't even want to fight.
Yeah.
You know,
they're just predator handshake.
They're gonna stay right in the middle and just have an honorable duel.
And just talk.
Yeah. Maybe kiss.
Oh, they're for sure. I think the errant is a girl, so.
Oh yeah, she is. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are you giving the knight and the lady?
A 6.
That's actually that's. I thought that's higher than I thought.
Maybe a 5. I don't know,
I was
dude.
expecting a 3.
I mean, the thing is, I'm giving it points because I like the game. I'm taking points away because this matchup is dog shit.
I'm honestly not that much higher. Like, I'm kind of... I'm actually at a 6 as well, funny enough. Like, because I was going to say 7, but I gave The Sun and the Stars a 7.
And we had fun with that.
And well, I didn't. No, I'm kidding. No, that one was over way too quick, which is funny.
That one was fast. Yeah, it was literally just like, giant hit, huge hit, big hit, big hit, big hit, big hit.
And it's like, and the game's over, all right. Here, it's like... Yeah, the game itself was completely drawn out. I really like the lady. I really like the enchantress as a player. But in terms of a box set, it's not a good matchup.
Yeah.
I expected you to be down like a 3 or a 4. So it's like, fuck this.
No, I'm not going to hate rate it.
Yeah.
Because I still recognize what it is.
Yeah.
So
if that's the case, I think you gave the Fox and the Fox and the Forest a lower score.
I thought I gave it a 5.
5 or a 4.
Okay. Well, then this gets a fucking 2.
Yeah, I'm excited for the tournament.
I
think that'll be fun. All right. Well, that is our thoughts on the Knight and the Lady. Keep an eye out for the tournament now that we have reviewed every box set. And let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.